opinion.
So I'm good. All right. So the first game, we're going to talk about the 3 games that we've had so far. And we had one really good game, one exciting finish, and another one where there's 2 teams still a work in progress. But Nick, we're going to kick it off talking about our defending champions, the DC Defenders, as they went up against the Columbus Aviators. Did they bounce back from their dud of an opening week?
Yeah, they did. They bounced back pretty well, and I'll tell you what, that offense actually looks really nice and dialed in, and a lot of credit has to be given to Deion Jackson for going 97 yards, 11 carries, and got a big 3 touchdowns in the game over there. And yeah, I mean, I'll tell you one thing. You think the Aviators, they would be a little bit better on defense, but it is just not looking good right now for the Aviators. And the best description that I can have right now for the Aviators is they remind me a lot of how the Dallas Cowboys were last year, at least in this particular game.
Okay.
Offense looks fine. I love McGlendon. I like what he's doing out there. He got 3 combined touchdowns, 2 of them passing, 1 of them rushing. And
that's a lot for the UFL.
A lot. And then 157 passing yards, 55 rushing yards. He looks really good. He's exciting. He used to play for Houston last year, and I don't know why Houston actually gave up on him. I thought that was a big mistake that they ended up, I believe, trading him over to the Aviators. Fun fact, this is a shout out to the UFL website. If you look up McGlendon right now, he is still on the Houston Gamblers team, according to the UFL.
And that, I will say, that is one thing, Mike Repley, if you're watching, we got to put some effort into the internet presence of the UFL. Let's actually get updated stats. Let's get updated rosters, and let's get a little bit more than just the absolute basic stats. Like we can do better, and it can be a lot more fun for people to break things down besides just knowing who has the most passing yards. But knowing what team they're on, that's kind of important.
Yeah, it was really bizarre that they were not able to do it. And then another thing is just getting individual stats. I put it on the Repley reply. You've got to be able to get the individual stats so much easier. Little leagues can do it in Pee Wee football. I think the UFL should be able to step up and do that. In depth charts, that's another one that I can't stand.
Depth charts, especially with trying to know what's going on, especially with several of the quarterback battles, knowing the depth chart, knowing who's going to be coming in if someone goes down, or with a lot of these wide receivers, knowing where that rotation is going to go is huge for those of us that want to cover this and really talk knowingly about what's going on. And having updated depth charts would be great.
Yeah, it would be much greater over there, but that wasn't the only game that ended up happening. You had the Defenders just stomping the Aviators. Oh, one last thing on it. I'm going to be real quick. The Columbus Aviators are reminding me a lot like the Memphis Showboats were 2 years ago, where the fans are showing up, they're looking really good, and the crowd did an excellent job. Shout out to you, Columbus fans. You did a wonderful job. Something that I'm nervous about, though, is if they start performing similar to what the Memphis Showboats did, all of a sudden the fans stop going to the game, and I am really concerned that the Columbus Aviators could possibly lose that fan base that did so well in those 2 games. So I'm hoping that the Aviators play better.
But they've got Columbus legend Ted Ginn Jr. Who wouldn't want to go see that guy coach?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, man. But I'll tell you what. Stallions have been your little biggest issue for you for quite some time. You were talking about them last year, even after having a good season, and the Stallions fell to the Gamblers.
Not surprised.
What's your reaction to that? You even picked it.
I picked it. I picked it straight up on the main thing of I looked at the 2 coaches. And there's one coach that's got a lot more experience and that is a lot better at being a coach than the other. So I went with Kevin Sumlin and the Gamblers to go ahead and get that first victory of the season. Look, one of the things that's been hard for me with the Stallions, especially last year, they have a very large and loud online presence as far as their fandom goes. But that fandom does not carry over to them showing up at the stadium.
And they win, too. You
And
think they would.
And they win. So they were on the chopping block. They really were. That we were not supposed to have the Birmingham Stallions this season, but Mike Repoli listens to the fans, and that loud, angry online presence made themselves known, and so they kept them in Birmingham for one more year. But as we saw, all the coaches change, all different coaches except for in DC, and then only Anthony Beck, besides Shannon Harris, is returned as a coach, and then we got all new coaches, and the theme was not necessarily coaching experience, it was big name in that market, and so that's why you have the head coach that you have in Columbus, and that's why you have the head coach that you have in Birmingham, who chose spring legend, had a chance to be good in the NFL, just he had a chance with the Bengals, didn't convert it, does have a ring playing for Saban with A.J. McCarron. Like, he's got football knowledge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
But he was literally in the middle of a lieutenant governor race in Alabama and quit it to be the head coach of the UFL. So I'm assuming he doesn't think he was going to win that race. And it was clear in the game last week that they just barely survived. They're at a disadvantage coaching in Birmingham, and they haven't been in one of those before because Skip Holtz has been right there with Anthony Beck as top of the league. Skip Holtz is gone now, so we'll have to see what's going on. And, you know, here's the thing. Fans don't go to the game to watch the coach. I'm a New England Patriots fan. I never went to a New England Patriots game because I wanted to watch Bill Belichick on the sideline.
Right.
I go because I wanted to watch Tom Brady. I wanted to watch Julian Edelman. I wanted to watch, back in the day, Ben Coates and Drew Bledsoe. You go for the players. So he's going to have to learn how to coach real quick. Maybe call up his old coach and mentor and get a quick little 101 of what to do, and hopefully they'll grow.
Hopefully they will grow. I saw the April Fool's joke with Nick Saban being the
that was pretty good.
assistant coach.
That
I fell for it. I'm not going to lie. I was like, ooh, that's news. No, Nick Saban's not jumping into the UFL to help out A.J. McCarron, although he looks like he could probably use it. Yeah, you know, the only reason why I ended up picking the the Stallions over the Gamblers was because I was just going to go with Matt Corral, who had a
good game.
Pretty good game. He's the only one that I think has the capabilities of being maybe Austin Reed, but he has the NFL capable arm, and he should be able to get there even as a starter. The problem with him is decision making,
on and off the field.
Yeah, right. And then on top of it, he's so accurate with the football that I think he throws it in windows. You just don't need to, Matt.
Especially with the receivers he has at this level in the UFL.
Yeah, he shouldn't have to do that. But Matt Corral ended up having an all right game despite, guess what, 2 interceptions. And credit to the Gamblers with Henderson. That was a clutch drive to get it to field goal range. Granted, it was 50 yards. He is exciting to watch, and if Kevin Sumlin's going to learn anything from this, it's give Henderson the green light on running the football. If you give him that option, the Gamblers are going to look so much better.
And here's the thing about Kevin Sumlin. He knows how to use a running quarterback.
It's true.
Johnny Manziel, ring a bell?
In fact, the reason why we know Kevin Sumlin so well is probably because of Johnny Manziel. So, obviously, Rob, credit to you. You made that pick. You were right. I was wrong. Houston has given the Stallions fits in UFL history. I just thought something was a little different because of this year. Turns out I was wrong. Houston did it again and got an upset win.
It was more of a hate pick for me than a deep dive. I went for I went with coaching.
Oh yeah, and it was a good call. Kevin Sumlin did a much better job. But
that fourth quarter was exciting. The first 3 quarters, bit of a slog. Fourth quarter, that was fun.
Yeah. The fourth quarter was great. You had 2 touchdowns from both teams out there. It was relatively slow scoring game, and all of a sudden it just got cranked up, entertaining, and a phenomenal field goal to the Gamblers kick or to pull that off. Stadium atmosphere, small crowd. This is the 3rd year in a row that Houston has moved. You're wearing the Houston fan base out, and I see stuff on X saying Houston doesn't deserve a team. Houston did a phenomenal job when they were the Roughnecks in the XFL. Don't blame the market. It's more to do with the fact that you moved the location 3 times now. There's no consistency. This is the best venue, so they had to do it. I'm not disagreeing. You're going to have to wait for that build-up to happen, and you have to wait for a good football team. Because, guys, I hate to break it to you, it's a spring football league. I love it. It's entertaining, but if the teams are awful, the fans will not show up. Period. End of story. You can hardly get them to show up at an NFL game. Could you imagine a spring football game?
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. But we did have one more game. We had the Kings versus the Storm. All right. So, Nick, what do you think about the Storm and the Kings? How do you think that went?
The Storm really remind me, where the Aviators remind me of the Dallas Cowboys, where their defense was just awful and they had an all right offense that just didn't matter because of how bad their defense was. The Orlando Storm really remind me of the New England Patriots last year at having 2 back-to-back sprawl, like close, hard-knot fighting games for 3 quarters, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, just put on the gas in the 4th quarter and go get a win. That's the second time they ended up doing it. If you look at the score, you're going to think it was not even close, but it was close up to those first games. There it is. Sorry, I got the score up here.
Yeah, there it is.
Looking like 19-9, but it was not like that. It was like 9-12 heading into that, and it just did not look that exciting up to that point. But they ended up pulling it off. A lot of credit going to the Storm, and the Storm looked like a good team. My biggest problem with the Kings, 2 quarterback system's not going to work. You're going to have to decide, are you going to develop Beam, who had a terrible night, by the way, percentage was like 25% at throwing, or Rodgers, who looks a little bit more stable but does not have that same talent that Beam has. If you're just looking to get wins immediately, Rodgers is your guy. If you're looking for development, you got to go with Beam. Doesn't really matter what you choose, Louisville. You got to choose.
But they shouldn't waste the defense. They should be. They can make the playoffs. I'm still high on them if they can figure out the offense.
Then if that's the case, I'd go with Rodgers because he looks a little bit more seasoned and understands how to just at least run the offense out there. They really got to get that figured out because they split possessions and it just looked awful. Despite the last-minute interception for Jake Plummer, he looked really good. 18-20.
Jake?
I keep doing that. Yeah, Deshaun's here too. Yeah, Deshaun, I don't know if you know this, but Jake, you probably don't even know Jake Plummer, do you? Okay, never mind. We're old. We're old,
we
Rob.
Are old.
Yeah.
We are old.
But yeah, now I lost the name. What's the name?
Jack Plummer.
Jack Plummer, the other J. Okay, got it. Anyway, Jack Plummer ended up looking pretty good despite that weird last-minute interception. He went 18 for 23, 182 yards, got a touchdown. And credit to Roland. I'm a big fan of him. I like short, shifty wide receivers. Call me, stereotypical or whatever, but he reminds me of Wes Welker. I know Roland's white, but he's short. Short, shifty.
Welker was white.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Everyone always compares it to Wes Welker, Edelman, or whatever. But he looked really good. Had 8 receptions, 54 yards. But that's not what he was there for gaining yards. He was there to be the possessive wide receiver. And I think the Orlando Storm are by far it's between them and the Renegades. We're going to see tonight which one's better. And speaking of which, I guess, should we get into the game that we're going to cover?
Yeah, let's get that Renegade rundown going.
All right, let's do it.